Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, all. We've just logged in to our first webinar of 2026. Just waiting so we can all get logged on. Are we good to go?
Yep, we're good.
Yeah. So hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today for this very exciting webinar, the first in our series, Bridging the Gap with AI for Newcomers, presented by Canadian Immigrant. My name is Baisakhi Roy, and I'm the editor of Canadian Immigrant. I am joined by my colleague, Laura Jackman, who's in the wings, taking care of all the tech stuff. We'll get started in just a couple of minutes as more attendees join us from across Canada and beyond. While we wait, it is my pleasure to welcome Murli Murthy, our resident career coach, who will be conducting this hour-long webinar. Murli, welcome. But while we wait for our viewers to join in, our listeners, our attendees to join in, I'd love to quickly share a few exciting Canadian immigrant initiatives that we have planned throughout this year. Today's webinar is actually a precursor to something very exciting happening at our Canadian Immigrant Fair in Toronto on June 19th at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre, which is the AI Lab led by today's speaker, Murli Murthy. So if today sparks any ideas for you, you'll definitely want to experience the AI Lab in person at the fair for a deeper hands-on learning networking experience with AI. Another exciting Canadian immigrant initiative is, of course, the top 25 Canadian Immigrant Awards, and the voting for which will begin, is now open, in fact, and it closes on June 12th. So be sure to cast your vote for an inspiring immigrant who's making a real difference in Canada through leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship, community service, and more. We are also continuing our free industry-specific web conference series in partnership with Osgood Professional Development. This webinar will take place on July 21st, 2026 at 11 a.m. EST. And this is being designed specifically for lawyers and legal professionals. It's a free 90-minute virtual event which will explore career development, education, and settlement topics to help internationally trained legal professionals. And of course, last but not the least, our Canadian Immigrant Fair series continues across Canada this year. We have Winnipeg on July 10th, Calgary on August 21st, Edmonton September 25th, Vancouver October 30th, and Mississauga on November 13th, 2026. So these fairs are free, and they bring together employers, recruiters, colleges, settlement organizations, career coaches, and inspirational speakers. So we hope to see you all at one or all of these fairs. So let's move over to today's webinar. Well, so many newcomers come to Canada with years of experience, strong credentials, and incredible accomplishments, and yet a lot of them have to hear the phrase, "Do you have Canadian experience?" Well, today's webinar is really about how AI can help bridge that gap. We will explore tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, how these can better translate your international experience into the language Canadian employers actually understand and value. And this is going to be a very practical and hands-on session with Murli, live prompts, resume examples, strategies. So feel free to use the chat and drop in your resumes, drop in your questions as the workshop is going on. This is a very workshop style interactive session. To lead us through this conversation, very happy to welcome Murli Murthy. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with him. And if you aren't, then you're in for a treat. Murli is a best-selling author, leadership trainer, and the resident career coach at Canadian Immigrant. He's helped countless newcomers, professionals, and students navigate today's rapidly changing job market and build confidence in their careers. Murli, welcome, and thanks so much for joining us today. And I have to say that this is a very timely webinar, because just this morning we were discussing that the Prime Minister Mark Carney has made a major announcement. So I'm going to have you take the session over and tell us a bit about what's happening.
All right. Thank you, Baisakhi, and hello, everyone. This is such an interesting topic, and the whole Canadian immigrant team and Baisakhi and I have been at work for the past few months. So a big, thanks and congratulations to the Canadian immigrant team for taking the initiative. In fact, so strong was the initiative that the Prime Minister had to respond so timely. He took notice of this webinar, and this Baisakhi just happened yesterday. Just few hours back, and it's all over the news in CBC and everywhere today. The Prime Minister Mark Carney released a draft called AI for All. $2 million funding and over 250,000 new jobs to be created with AI. And Canada was one of the first countries in the world to have a minister for AI in Ottawa right now. So if you look at all this, Baisakhi, is AI really a job destroyer or a job creator? Definitely a job creator. If you know how to play the game well, you can be in control. And Baisakhi, that's the whole agenda for today, right? Is to put people in control.
Absolutely.
It's not to help make them feel helpless or directionless. They don't know what's happening. And so that's why, Baisakhi, we are so excited. We are at the right time, at the right place, with the right opportunity.
So let's get right into it. Attendees, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and we will try to get to all of them at the end of the session. But also during the chat, Murli will be asking you for your questions, your resume. So feel free to drop that in the chat. Over to you, Murli.
All right, Baisakhi, thank you so much. So once again, the Canadian immigrant presentation on how you can turn your global experience or even your current Canadian experience toward the market demands and how to be led by AI. So here are a few things that we will be sharing today. We will of course share a presentation. We also have a free gift. We have a free gift for everyone who's attending, and the gift will be emailed to you by Baisakhi after the presentation is done. But you will also get a sneak preview of what the gift is. So step number one, we will share a presentation. Step number two, you will be shown the gift that you will be given. And step number three is we will, if time permits, have a live demo of how AI can be used to turn your global resume, your global credentials into a Canadian workplace adaptive resume. And so this presentation will work best if you put in the chat box what you're looking to do. Are you already using AI to adapt your resumes? Is that being helpful, or what are you currently doing to do? Or you are currently a new immigrant struggling to get into the Canadian workplace and wanting to know how AI can help you. Whatever your challenges, go ahead, go use the chat box and share your comment. The better the comment, the more we can customize the presentation for you. So I'll give you like a couple of seconds. Go ahead and use the chat box before we begin the presentation, guys. All right, guys. Anyone, use the chat box to tell us what you are looking to do. What would you like to accomplish today? What is the one objective you would like to have today? Feel free to use the chat box. Keep thinking along the way. And let's start our presentation without any further delay. Here we go. All right. Throughout my presentation, feel free to use the chat box and keep asking questions. And based on your questions, we can customize the answer. Okay, I see some messages coming in. Okay. All right, Ken, unravel what is AI and how it benefits you. Okay, absolutely. Please remember, guys, this session is being recorded for future use. You can also refer to it later. Okay, Eric, Ken, everyone, Vivek, absolutely. We will absolutely learn each one of them as I proceed. At a later point of time, Eric, Ken, Vivek, everyone, Nazira, you want to put in the chat box the particular credentials you have currently. All right? Okay. All right. Regina, education job in AI. Yes, of course. Keep the messages coming. We'll customize it later. Let's go right ahead with the presentation right now. From international to Canadian. By the way, the Canadian immigrant also has a blog on the same topic. After we are done, you can go read the blog, but this one is a live exercise. The homework you can take home and work, and will also work alongside. So this is what is happening. Why do you keep hearing you don't have Canadian experience? Some of you come into this country, it could even be students graduating here, but most, let's talk the Canadian immigrant. You come in with 10, 15, 20 years of experience. You were a manager back home, a director, you led teams, you delivered outcomes. You did national rebranding and branding. My own story, I came as a creative director from Dubai. Okay, I've worked with some of the biggest organizations and companies like the Dubai Shopping Festival and PepsiCo and everything. All of that did not translate to what I could achieve in Canada until I turned those skills and made them Canadian. I took my global credentials and made them Canadian. So nothing wrong with why are they not understanding me? Why am I not getting a job? Not really. If you can do what I did, I translated my international experience into the Canadian workplace adaptation. Today you can use AI to do that. Okay, guys? So if you don't have any Canadian experience, don't worry. No one is questioning your credentials. Everyone is questioning the interpretation of the language. How are you communicating that? And so, translate your global experience into a Canadian advantage. Suddenly, there is no red flag because you have AI as your partner, as your friend, and as that invisible hand over your shoulders. Okay, that is the whole purpose of using AI. But let's understand the current state of the market. Let us first understand why do we need AI more than ever. The job market of 2026 is different from the job market of 2025. Just last November, we did a workshop. A lot has changed in the marketplace in the last few months. So anything that you did last year may not be working anymore. Currently, just a few years back, I remember Baisakhi and I used to do the presentation. We used to proudly say, our resume is scanned or viewed for 10 seconds. That looks like a luxury now. If you can Google search it, today a resume scans for 6 to 7 second maximum. Okay. They want to know everything you did. They'll just run through your resume, the top one third of your resume in the first 6 to 7 seconds. If it doesn't appeal to them, you're gone. And so thousands of people applied, 10 to 12 are shortlisted. So that's the current state of the market. Okay. Here is one more. Read this. My job is to just put in the images that I find online. Like we read about Mark Carney, AI for All, and that's a draft release. CBC and all the news outlets have released the draft. You can read it. Similarly, look at this. Harvard found this applicant tracking system, ATS, reject 88% of qualified candidates. Not because they are unqualified, because of the resume format before a human. Imagine, guys, 20 years of experience you brought in from Philippines and Vietnam and the UK and India and China everywhere. You come into the market, a human being doesn't even get to see your resume. And so you keep on applying job after job, job after job. You think you we're busy all day. You are active but very productive. What if I told you 88% of resumes are not even seen by a human eye? We have grown up watching movies like The Matrix and Transformer. Well, that's happening now. A software decides your destiny. Let me repeat. A software decides your future. Not your college degree, not your two-page resume. A software. That is why you need AI even more and more. Maybe AI is being used to reject you. Use AI to get you approved and at the interview table. All right, guys? So this is what it is. It is not about being the most credible anymore. It's about being the most visible. All right? Okay. The current state of the market, these are the reasons you could not be getting job interviews and connection. When Baisakhi and I and the Canadian immigrant team do this workshop, our workshops run pretty long. By the way, on the 19th of this month, Friday, June 19th, we are doing a live session of the same thing. We'll be there whole day to answer. We have an exclusive AI career booth. Today, I like to rush through because AI is such a huge topic, vast topic. We definitely can't do justice to everything. We'll touch upon key points. This today is more like a highlight, right? Today is more like an appetizer. But if you want the full meal, mark the date June 19, Metro Convention Center downtown, the Canadian Immigrant Toronto Job Fair, the biggest of its kind in town. Come and meet us there from the morning 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, but let's go along right now. You can also feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn and keep the conversation going. Connect with the Canadian immigrant team, with Besaki, with me, anyone, right? Google us and you can find us and connect with us on LinkedIn. So you can continue the conversation. But look at this, the current state of the market. Maybe your resume is weak. Maybe you're unable to explain the gap. Makes sense? Maybe your LinkedIn is poor. That's very important again, right? And lack of relevant Canadian skills. All these are areas where AI can help you. And so, this is one more thing. I want you to understand this, guys. An image I found on the internet. We like to communicate through images. When I came from Dubai, I see a lot of my friends come with global experience make the same mistake that I made. Village duties. Back home, we don't even call it resume, we call it CV, and we list duties. I know Java, I know this tool, I know coding, I know this. No, you cannot have list. Canada wants measurable impact. Okay, look at the resume. Those are international resumes. We list duties, but look at the after. Canada wants outcomes. Focus on 3 to 4 key things that you did and deliver outcome. This is the kind of prompt. Somebody asked me how to use the prompt. This is the kind of clever prompting. You have to use prompt, and we'll give you examples where you tell AI. Okay, AI is like a servant. It's like a genie in that, in that lamp. You have to tell AI what to do. It only listens to you. A garbage prompt will give you garbage response. An intelligent prompt will give a brilliant answer. So transform your skills into Canadian workplace related outcomes, what they desire. So we'll see some live examples of that. Okay. And so introducing, ladies and gentlemen, your friend and partner, AI, artificial intelligence. But remember, all the AI in the world cannot replace what? Your AI, your authentic influence. Your authentic influence is still stronger than artificial intelligence. AI can help, but it can never replace the authentic you. So at all points of, I like to keep things human. Your authentic influence is the real AI, is the real deal. Artificial intelligence is no match for the authentic you. So on your resume, on your cover letter, on your LinkedIn, you're going to use AI to highlight your AI, your authentic influence, your authentic impact. And that is what will shine through at interview. Because if you use AI, let me tell you, the HR people are also using AI to detect resumes that were created using AI. So it's a double-edged sword. You got to use AI, but you got to remain human. That's why you need to work with a coach and expert like all of us are Canadian immigrant. And so connect with us and we can guide you more. But here, let's go to your friend and partner. Let's meet artificial intelligence. Okay. Artificial intelligence helps you align your global skills to Canadian marketplace expectations. Back home, I was doing something, but maybe that job title doesn't even exist here. The skills matter, but your job title is creating a wall. So you need to even adapt the job title of what you did back home. Maybe in Philippines, you're something else, but in Canada, you got to be renamed as something else. So that is the whole idea here. Okay. And so AI at no point replaces your experience, nor do Canadian employers want you to replace your experience. I hear a lot of these stories. Immigrants come into the country and they are told, oh, you got to start from fresh. You got to take a survival job. You got to, get a factory job, something like that. Why would you hear that nonsense? Why would you allow people to put garbage in your mind? Would you allow someone to put garbage in your doorstep? No, same thing, but you're allowing people to put garbage in your mind. Don't buy into those kind of arguments. Nobody has to start from scratch. I never started from scratch. I adapted my international experience to Canadian workplace. So no need to start from scratch and survival jobs and all that kind of nonsense. Use AI to help Canadian employers understand your global experience. Make sense, guys? And so, translate your experience to specific Canadian terminology. You got to understand. Back home, when I used to work with banks and all, we used to call it home loan. I come from India, we used to call it home loan. Canada, you don't call it home loan, you call it mortgage. As simple as that. You need to learn to translate your resume language into Canadian marketplace. Okay, let's go back to the home loan example. I delivered so many home loans, but the Canadian ATS will reject that resume because it's looking for a keyword called mortgage. Something as simple as that. So here are 3 steps to bridge that gap. You see, it's always a gap. You just have to bridge the gap. Your global experience and Canadian expectations. List your last 3 roles. Use AI, and we'll use that example right now. Okay. List last 3 roles, your key results, your skills, experience, everything, and then use AI. This is how you use AI. You say, based on these skills, which Canadian job titles match this experience? Go after job title. Guys, I'm digressing, but let me tell you on LinkedIn, it's something called a Boolean search. Let's say looking for a business analyst role. What do you say? Business analyst, the plus sign, recruiter, the plus sign, Toronto. That is the kind of Boolean search you do to connect with the recruiter. Connect with the recruiter looking for that particular role, or a youth administrator, or a admin executive, something. See the job that they are applying for, that they are posting. Follow recruiters, make connections with them, see the job post that they are hiring for. Look at the language. It's a small work you need to do, but remember, guys, on the extra mile, there are no traffic jams. Go the extra mile. Go on that lane where there are no traffic jams. The little extra you do, it can change the equation. Okay. And identify roles that feel like that. These are 3 things you do. First, list your global experience skills. Use AI to see what titles match. Now look up recruiters, see their language, and start adapting. That's where you use AI. AI does not replace your experience. It helps Canadian employer understand. Because you're going to speak their language. You're going to put yourself in their shoes. Don't expect a Canadian recruiter put themselves in your shoes. You came to the country, you got to do this. Okay. All right, guys. So there are hundreds of tools. There are Jasper and Copilot and Gemini. I could go on and on. Every week a new tool is getting released. AI is such a vast universe, we can never capture it in 1 hour. But for today's communication, of course, when you come on June 19th and meet all of us live, we will have a live station where we will put your resume in and out come the finished Canadian product. We'll do all those things and we'll use many other tools. But for today's communication, let's only focus on the 3 most popular ones, which are Perplexity for research, Claude, and ChatGPT. All right, ChatGPT is like a Swiss knife, it's for everything, but you need to know whom to use for which particular function. Okay, so these 3 tools, Claude, ChatGPT, and Perplexity, can help you translate your job titles. Very important. Many global job titles do not exist in Canada. Okay, match Canadian keywords. Remember home loan and mortgage, Canadian keywords. Reframe your achievements. Make sense? Your key outcome, your career highlights, okay, your professional summary. You got to do away with objective statements. Those are gone. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Replace objective statements with professional summaries. Okay. And identify a role that's a fit for you. At the end of the day, guys, it's about having a fulfilling job. It's not about finding any job. Oh, I serve coffee at Tim Hortons or I deliver. I know. You studied for 4 years and all you're doing is flipping burgers at McDonald's. Come on, guys. You can just work a little harder. You can get the job you want, the one you studied for. Okay. Your experience stays the same. Your skills stay the same. You're still the same authentic you, but the language changes. All right, guys? Okay. And so the 3 AI tools that to get started, ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity. All right. After the presentation, I'll take a few minutes to go through the chat box and we'll see how we can adapt each of them. Okay. All right. Take a few minutes to read this. I put everything in one screen. Which AI to use for what? By the way, you can download all, use the free version, do not pay for anything yet because the free versions work better. Alright, guys, but that's again your choice. This is my observation. I can still get work done with the free version, but some people like to prefer to pay, no problem. Same thing with LinkedIn Premium and LinkedIn. It's your choice, but the free versions work as good. Alright. So, ChatGPT can be best used to translate your global experience into Canadian job title. Relevant. This is exactly what we wrote in our blog post. You can look up the Canadian immigrant. It's a detailed blog post. This is the kind of blog you got to attach your resume. Attach your resume and ask what Canadian roles match this experience. I know some industries are regulated. For some, you need to get a certification, but I come from the marketing field. I did not have to get a certificate, a local certification, so I could definitely get into the prompt. But check with your industry, maybe you're from finance or legal, you may need to get certified also. But having said that, what Canadian roles match my experience? What keyword should I use? That's ChatGPT. Claude can be used to rewrite your entire resume. It does a fantastic job. There's always a lot of debate about Claude versus ChatGPT, which is better. Both are equally good, but Claude is more known for this. Rewrite his resume in a Canadian job for the Canadian job market using metrics and results. Make sure you have outcome driven metrics, measurable impact. Don't list duties. And finally, use Perplexity to do all the research you can to validate your target role. These are my skills, these are my experiences and achievements. What roles match? Perplexity will do the whole research that will take you 1 week to do by yourself, but Perplexity can give it to you in 10 minutes or less than that, and 10 seconds actually. So this is why you use the right AI tool for the right job. Make sense, guys? Okay. Here's an example. Back home, maybe in Vietnam, you are deputy head of student discipline. To the best of my knowledge, I never seen a Canadian title with that. Maybe I could be wrong, but to the best of my knowledge, but I have seen a Canadian equivalent of the same job skill, youth program coordinator, community support worker. Had you changed your title to community support worker, maybe you may be working right now. Guys, I want to remember one thing. It's 12:20 at mid-time. Remember, someone somewhere is getting hired right now. Someone somewhere just got an interview letter. Someone somewhere just passed the interview. Why not you? Maybe that person is using AI. Someone somewhere is getting hired. Why not you? Okay. Hospital administrator. Maybe it's a good title, but will it pass the keyword search? I don't know. What's the harm in putting it through AI? Hey, does this job role work here? Maybe. This is what I did actually. This is an AI exercise I did. I took, for this presentation, I took the job title, put it on ChatGPT, and asked me to give me a Canadian equivalent. And for hospital administrator, this is what it gave me. Healthcare operations manager. Sounds so Canadian, guys. Everyone will agree. Hospital administrator sounds very global. Definitely not Canadian. But project coordinator, healthcare operations manager, see how easy it is. An organization of Canadian immigrants exists for that purpose. Even before AI, that's what we are doing. We're helping translate Canadian, immigrants assimilate into Canada faster. That exactly is our purpose, vision, mission, everything. AI is make it easier for us also. Why not you? Same experience, better positioning. So if you're deputy head of student discipline, become a community support worker or youth program coordinator. If you're a hospital administrator, become healthcare operations manager. All right. I said this before. Don't list activities, guys. Always talk outcomes. In an interview, if I were to ask you right now, what is the first question they'll ask you? Tell me about yourself. If you were to say, I manage teams and projects, I resolved issues, I manage relationships, goodbye. You already mentally they're switched off. Don't get caught saying that. The three things you want to be known for in an interview. I like to talk in terms of three: leadership, problem solving, and stakeholder management, teamwork, collaboration. These are the key areas you are judged. on your resume, on your cover letter, on your LinkedIn, and at the interview. And let me mention also at networking. So when you come on June 19 to meet us at networking sessions, I would welcome all of you. Eric, Vivek, everyone can. Everyone who wrote in the chat box, come and meet me. And I want to talk to you on these three platforms. Leadership, problem, how you solve a problem. What are your leadership skills? And how do you collaborate and do teamwork, stakeholder management? So let's see, if I were to put manage teams and projects into AI, what would I get? Isn't this better? Hey, I led a team of 20 people through a product launch nationwide. It was completed 3 weeks ahead of schedule and within budget. Sounds so engaging, strong, and convincing. And let me repeat, authentic than a lazy manage teams and project. That looks so lazy. It's very, do not, no, like I watch a lot of movies, Don't you see movies that are mounted lavishly but suffered because of a lazy script? It's always script writing. Content is king. With AI, without AI, before AI, after AI, content is king. But now we can use AI to make the content better. Hey, identify resolved issues says nothing to me. Nothing at all. But what if you have to say, hey, I identified a billing error at my previous company as a bookkeeping associate that was costing $40,000 extra annually, and I helped it resolve within 30 days. A percentage, a numeric, a date mentioned. These are the kind of now they want to talk about it. So guess what happened? Your interview does not look like an FBI questioning. It becomes like a friendly chat between you and the interviewer because they want to know more. Hey, I'm curious. How did you do that? And now is the time for you to explain. Using my skills, I could do this. Make sense, guys? I manage relationships. Come on, anyone can do that. Especially if you're looking for senior roles, guys. Don't make that mistake. Specify, measurable impact. Something like this. Hey, I manage 15 enterprise accounts over 4 years, achieving a 90% retention rate through proactive communication. These are, I did not write these guys, I used AI, but I used the right prompts for the same thing. Okay, guys? Okay. I don't know why I keep picking of the Philippines, okay? But here is what it is. This is the kind of, I'm going to give you an exercise, a free homework for all of you, but rewrite this for the Canadian job market using outcome-based language. If there is one thing you can take away from today's topic discussion is outcome-based. In communication, in networking, tell me about yourself, everything, outcome-based. When a recruiter goes through a resume for 6 seconds, the minute you're outcome-based, good, you're hired. Okay? So, if you worked as a hospital administrator back home in your country, right? You manage budgets, handle government reporting and everything. How could you rewrite the Canadian language? Authentic AI written language looks like this. Same experience, different opportunities. The keywords grab attention. Okay. And this is what you do. Paste your job description. So here is an exercise, guys. Some of you can do this. If you want, use the chat box right now to take a job description and paste it in the chat box, and also use your professional summary from your resume. I'm not saying put your entire resume in the chat box, it's your choice, but put your global credentials into the chat box and maybe ask me how can we adapt it. We can do a live exercise right now after my presentation is done. Okay. Here is one. Okay, I went from Philippines to Oman now, close to Dubai. All right, guys. So I have 10 years of experience. Talk to ChatGPT like a friend. Okay, don't put feed bullet point. ChatGPT can read your mind. Especially ChatGPT, after you use it for some time, it knows you. It'll speak your language. So I have 10 years of experience as a finance manager in Oman. I managed audits, led a team of 12 and built reporting systems. Means nothing to a Canadian recruiter. I may clap for you, I may say good for you, but who cares? But if you have to ask AI, this is how it would write. Audit efficiency is a Canadian keyword. Okay. Executive decision making, financial reporting system. That's how you do this, guys. Okay, guys. And so with that, I'm done with the first part of the presentation. Potential of AI is wide open. The door is open and it goes all the way to Ottawa. because the Prime Minister just noticed we're going to do a webinar. And what did you do yesterday? Yes, yesterday. He said AI for all. He released a draft. A $2 million funding. What if that could help you? So Canada's growing, Canada's using AI, and the people who get a job today are the ones who will learn to use AI better. So you already have the knowledge, you have the leadership, you bring the resilience, you're a fighter, you're rebuilding a career all over again. I remember when I came as an immigrant, there was no AI. Few years back, I came before the pandemic. I had to build my life all over again. But today you can use AI to do it faster. Your experience is an advantage. Okay, your global experience is not a wall, it's an advantage. AI is the catalyst. And remember, you're not starting from zero. Please don't say you're starting from zero. You're intelligently repositioning yourself for great opportunity. The letter O, right? Be the last letter in zero or the first letter in opportunity. How are you looking at it? The letter O. Zero, I'm done. No. Opportunity, a new beginning. All right. So I'm going to stop this presentation. We'll go to the exercise right now. But let me open the chat box and see what's come up. Thank you. Let me open the chat box now. How do we keep a copy of? Yes, Tony, yes, we're going to share all this. Yeah. Okay, they'll share this. I'm just going to the chat box. 1 second.
I have one, Murli, someone called Ursula Cuombo.
All right,
Um,
even I see that. Okay,
you
yeah.
have that message? Okay, if you want to do, like I said, it's a great time to just do one quick study
All
and
right.
perhaps do this live. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to copy that. Let's open ChatGPT. I'm going to take one example right now. I know it's only we got few minutes left. I'm going to take one example. I'm going to show you how it is done. Okay. All right, guys. Uh, Let me open ChatGPT. Okay, I've opened it. And now I need to share. Okay, we're going to take one example. All right, guys. So everyone can see ChatGPT I've opened. Oh, by the way, this was the Prime Minister yesterday. Promised over 2 billion in funding, aimed to create 250,000 jobs by 2031. And this is the draft. AI for all. You can all read it, but let's not get diverted. Let's go to ChatGPT. Start with the prompt. What will you say to the prompt? What are you going to say, ChatGPT? This is how I would do it. I would not just put the prompt. Act as my Canadian HR coach. Adapt following adapt the following global achievements to use Canadian keywords, make the bullet points. Who can tell me why did I type bullet points? Because this is one more thing. This is actually a common sense thing. A lot of resumes are paragraph heavy. But remember, guys, I have a smartphone. I don't know if you can see this. I have a mobile phone. All of us have a smartphone. Does it make us smart? Not really. Today, recruiters, like all of us, view all their information on their mobile phone. So don't add paragraph heavy content, write them in bullet point. Ask ChatGPT AI to use it as bullet point. So make the bullet points with metrics. Okay. And keyword strong. Also suggest also suggest ideal job roles where I can apply. This is the prompt. Everyone good? Besaki, this is good. I'm going to put the job now. Okay.
This is great. Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
This now I'm going to put what she wrote. Okay. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Okay, the countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Okay. Brilliant. Look at this, guys. You would have to hire 10 people to do this. For the Canadian market, especially in environmental consulting, conservation, government, natural resources, employees look for a mix of regulatory awareness, field survey expertise, and all those things, GIS. Your current company is good or flop, okay? But it reads more like a job description than a value proposition. That's the key point. Value proposition. Value propositions are key. I'd want a job, forget that line. Stop telling yourself, I want a job. Hey, Canada, where is my job? If you're asking that question, you know what Canada is saying? What value are you bringing? Instead of saying, hey, Canada, I want a job, start by your self-talk should be, hey, Canada, this is the value I bring into the world. I bring into this country. Okay? It needs stronger outcomes. I did not say it. ChatGPT is saying it. Canadian terminology and keyword that align with AI ATS systems. An optimized Canadian professional summary. Okay. Wildlife and conservative biologist with 5 years experience. Okay. And this strong Canadian core competencies. Look at this. Achievement statement, Canadian style. Okay. Look at all this, guys. Of course, there's a whole access of humanize it and remove the AI touch from it, but this is a good start. Okay. If you meet us on the 19th, we can do this further for you to humanize it right now. But look at this. You gave me one paragraph. You gave me a seed. ChatGPT has given you a forest. Look at it. You just gave me a seed. ChatGPT has given you a forest. Okay.
Murli, can you add the prompt that you used in the chat just for some of our, just cut paste the prompt that you use and paste it in our chat
Yeah,
for
that's
our
what I'm doing.
audience?
I'm going to do
Yeah,
exactly that. Okay,
yeah,
but I want to show this to you. Okay.
sure.
Has everyone got it? Remember, you gave a seed, you got a forest. That's a resume, LinkedIn, cover letter, everything. You can use the same content now, Baisakhi. People can say, prepare me for interviews. And it can actually give you the interview answers and everything. Okay. You can apply for government, for environmental consulting. You can apply for so many jobs. Okay, good. All right. Now this is what I do. All right. And I can convert chat into a PDF and I can share it, or I can even share that link. Let me see if we can just share that link. Okay, share. All right. Copy link. Link copied. And now I'm going to put into the chat box. All right, here you go. I copied the whole link. Please could you repost the prompt you sent to AI. All right. Kenichi, I'm going to do that right now. 1 second. Let me, okay. Let me, okay. Let me go into Zoom. Okay. Oh, sorry, Besaki, I sent it to you. You can send it to others, right?
Yeah, you can just even scroll up on your window and probably people can just take
Okay.
a screenshot or maybe just do a screenshot of your prompt.
Here is the prompt that I used. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was Kenichi. Okay, Kenichi, here you go. Here is the prompt that I used. Always give ChatGPT instruction. You are my coach. You are my HR recruiter. You are my senior administrator. It give it a thinking cap. Okay. Landscape. Hold on. Okay. Give it a role function. All right. Okay. And okay. Copy. Okay. As we come to the conclusion, Besaki, do we have a few minutes to share the gift that we'll be sharing with all of them?
Yes, we absolutely do. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, guys. 2 minutes. Here is a free gift for all of you. Here we go. Okay. So 7 AI prompts. 7 AI prompts that make your resume impossible to ignore. Like I said, AI is a huge subject, vast subject. We cannot cover everything in 1 hour. But if you come on the 19th, we'll be there to help you how to use AI to optimize your LinkedIn. Remember, recruiters spend 6 seconds looking at your resume. AI can help you do that. But what happens the 7th second, the 7th minute? They go into the beautiful world of LinkedIn where you are in control. Make sense? And so all those will teach on the 19th. So this is a gift for all of you today. 7 AI prompts that make your resume impossible to ignore. Baisaki will be emailing it to all of you after this. What are the 7 AI prompts? The duty dump. Does your resume list what you did instead of what you changed? Very important in the Canadian marketplace. Do not list duties. Ask AI to show what happened because of what you did. Turn the job description into career story, your authentic influence. Use AI to enhance your AI, authentic influence. All right, guys, I'm more interested in this AI than artificial intelligence. So this is one thing. Use AI to turn your list of things what you did into what changed. Then nobody even asked. Just somebody describe you instead of telling you. It's a thin line. When they ask you, tell me about yourself or your professional summary, nobody's interested where you grew up, what games you played, and what's your favorite dish. No. How does it align to the job description? Makes sense? Always attach your resume. All right. Is your resume a ghost in the system? Keyword. If you're missing keywords, if you write home loan, we are gone. Okay. Remove the invisibility cloak. That's where you attach your job description and your resume. The fog machine. I see a lot of LinkedIn profile, a lot of resumes. They're all very foggy. They say a lot of things, they say nothing. Okay. Flag everyone that could apply to everyone. Don't be vague. Be very specific. I'd rather speak less but be very specific. Okay. Are you a buried lead? It's your best career moment, 3 jobs down the page. Your most relevant experience has to go up. So I normally recommend when you do your resume, your professional summary, your education, everything, have an executive key achievement before you go on to the job description. So they can quickly scan and say, okay, this is what you did. Okay, your best moment deserves an applause. The rear view mirror. Does your resume describe the job you had? Very important. I did that back home. I have been bank managers in India working as security guards in Toronto. True story, guy. A manager of a bank, the only job you could get was security guard. Why? I did that. Irrelevant. What can you do right now? Okay. So write for the job you want, not the one you left. Back home, I was something is irrelevant here. And the last one, the clone wars. If you're sounding like everyone else, you'll also get the same treatment like everyone else, the black hole. Okay. Sure, should. Remember, on LinkedIn, within minutes of a job coming, what does it say? 100 plus people applied. 100 plus could also mean 1,000. And you're just one, which is why you use AI. Okay, guys? And so these are the 7 things. Duty dump, nobody asked, Casper, fog machine, rear view mirror, clone war. Save for your next application. Baisaki will be emailing that to all of you. And so I think we're at 12:49. Baisaki, over to you. I think we had a great presentation today, a lot of participation. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry we could not take care of everyone because the time limit is 1 hour. But Baisaki, am I right? If they come on June 19th, they'll get VIP treatment.
Absolutely. We have a whole day dedicated to AI strategies. We have the first ever AI career lab at the Toronto Career Fair, which is on June 19th. But I'm just looking at the chat and I was wondering if we could do a couple of questions because we do have about 5 minutes to take a couple of questions. I
Okay.
remember someone saying in the chat that how should I how to make the resume with AI, but not look too fake. I hear this a lot that every resume because of AI now looks similar to 10 others. How do you stand out with an AI resume.
Okay, very good. Again, you know what, Besaki, maybe we need to do one presentation only to say how you can be un-AI now. So if I have, once you use AI, everyone here, guys, I wish, you know what, Besaki, if you want, you can share this also with everyone. Okay, guys, once you use AI, very good question. How do you un-AI? So let me show this to you. Okay, let me share this through an example. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone can see this. If you want, I can share this also. Besaki can email it to you. Use AI, but then use a human touch. Use your authentic you to un-AI AI. So the first thing you do is any content developed, because the recruiters are also using AI to detect AI written resumes, and even that can get you flagged down. Okay, so the first thing you tell is replace the M dash with a regular dash. Okay, replace the M dash with a regular dash. Add a personal story. So, for the resume we did, each of the bullet points at this company, at this organization, at this place, I did that. AI uses a language called antithetical parallelism. You'll always see it's not X, it's Y. That's a clear AI giveaway. Use that to rewrite it as one line. It's not X, but it could be Y because of blah, blah, blah reason. Okay. Do you see that? Okay. And then there is something called anaphora. There are 4 things you can do. A, B, C, D. It gives bullet point. How do you write it as a line? Hey, when I do this, I can do this. I can also do this, this, and this. So these are all the things that help you undetect AI on a Word document. Use the AI content and go to Word document. I have still 5 minutes. Word document. Take the AI content, put it in a Word document, and then, okay, how do I do this? Basically, if you have time, I can do the live demo. I can show an example.
Sure, let's go for it. Why not? Yeah.
Let's go for it, right? Okay, I'm going to open a Word document. Who can put in the chat box? How does or where does AI get its content from? Anyone? Who can put in the chat box? Where does AI? AI is not a human being, does not create something out of nothing. Okay, who can tell me? Anyone? AI gets its content from content that already exists in the marketplace, which is Reddit, Facebook, Wikipedia. These are the sources. And so, if you can remove the sources, let me show an example. Okay. Okay, Baisakhi, share. Okay, everyone watch this. I hope everyone can see a Word document as it opened. Baisakhi, look. I'm putting the content that I put in the chat box. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'll first have to go to File and save it as. So I'm going to maybe my download section and save it. Once the document is saved, guys, this is the AI content. This is, imagine the content that AI delivered. You go into File and you go to Info. You see this protect document, check for issues, manage document, manage. I click on check for issues and I say click inspect document. And I click all the boxes. I hope this is visible, Besat. You can see this.
It is. It's visible.
I
Yeah.
took the AI content, put it in a Word document. I went to File Info and I said inspect document. Now I'm going to click inspect. See what happened. It said, okay, no items were found, comments. Okay, embedded document, nothing was embedded. Nothing was this thing. But wait. Document properties, the following document information was found. It was written by somebody somewhere, author. Document properties. What if you removed them? They are gone. You see what happened? First, you individually, personally, using your hand, you remove the M dash, put a normal dash. Remove the antithetical parallelism, rewrite those statements. A little extra makes all the difference. And then finally, when you're done, as much as possible, to give it a human touch, you put a Word document, let Word remove all the references to the author. Suddenly, you are the author. I reflect once again to be safe, nothing to worry. I close, there I go. I don't have to save it anymore. What is useful, Vaisaki? Yeah, you
Absolutely,
did
yes.
it. Take
Yeah.
the content, humanize it as much as you can, put it in Word. Again, on the 19th, we can show a live demo. This is how we remove all references to an author. And boom, it's your original, authentic influence. Beats
Wonderful.
artificial intelligence anytime.
Absolutely. No, I love that point of the way you have to retain your own intelligence as well and then use it to leverage AI.
Yes.
I think we could go on forever. At least I'll admit when you were doing this, I was in my LinkedIn trying to find gaps, and I did find multiple gaps, which I shall be fixing immediately. But this is what I meant with merely a 15-minute session. There are so many ideas. There are so many ways that you can stem this gap. We'd love to take this momentum forward on June 19th. As Murli has mentioned, he will be doing multiple sessions throughout the day from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday, which is the 19th of June at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. It'll be the AI Lab. We'll have other speakers as well. But I'll get into that in a moment. But I'd like to close out this session. I'd like to thank you, Murli, first of all. Genuinely so insightful, this entire session. Very practical is what I appreciated. You gave us real life examples, the live demo. This was refreshingly real, which I think everybody is looking for because there's such a glut of content out there. There's so much advice floating around. So it's great to have you putting it all out for us in this wonderful presentation. So thank you, Murli, for showing us that AI isn't here to replace us, but to help us tell our stories better. I hope everybody has benefited from this session. We hope that today's webinar not only gave you useful AI tools, but also strategies and some confidence, some renewed confidence in the value of your international experience, because all your experience matters, right? Closing out the session, I'd like to tell our attendees a few more things, just some housekeeping. Please stay connected with Canadian Immigrant through our social media platforms. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter so that you don't miss upcoming events happening across Canada. You can reach out to us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. You could go to canadianimmigrant.ca for more details. We have events throughout the year. We have more webinars coming up, the schedule of which is posted on our website, canadianimmigrant.ca. And once again, would like to see one and all at our Canadian Immigrant Fairs this year. The first one is on June 19th. And you can go to canadianimmigrant.ca/career fair/Toronto/register. So thank you again, everyone, for spending part of your day with us. Thank you, Murli, for taking out your time, giving us your expertise. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. And we hope to meet you all soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.